I made the song I Hopped Into a Coffee Shop. It became a TikTok trend in 2023 and was used in over 200,000 videos across social media.
I hopped into a coffee shop.
Is it the best song ever, or is it the most annoying song ever? You decide. So I'm going to tell you the story of how I made it, the lore behind the making of the viral video that started the trend, including a surprise special guest, and a bunch of crazy things that happened as a result of the song blowing up. I'm a full-time silly song artist. I'm very blessed to have my dream job, which all started back in April 2020 during quarantine. I was making TikToks to entertain myself, and I found a slug on my rug. Here, I literally have a slug. It was a real slug, not a fake slug. And I made a rap about it that went viral on TikTok, and I just ran with it and kept making silly little raps. Fast forward to now, I've been a full-time artist for 5 years. So I get comments on this song that are like, why did you make this? And the answer is, it's literally my job. So here's the story behind writing it. So it's 2022, I sat down to write a song. I might have actually been at a coffee shop when I wrote it because I frequently work from coffee shops. So I checked the original Google Doc and saw I first started to write it on July 5th, 2022. And I was so amused to see the first thing I wrote about it. What should I write about? How can I bless people? How can I make this song optimistic, hopeful, uplifting? And I promise I didn't just add that in there after to make me look like Mother Teresa or something. And I must have been feeling very positive that day because I looked at my camera roll, July 5th, and that's when I wrote and filmed this song. You are valuable and you are worthy of love. I just remember the term walked into a coffee shop popped into my head. I just thought it was so catchy, like a catchy hook, and I wanted to build a story around it. And the story ended up being that experience of when you see someone wearing something that you just love or think looks great on them in public, and you want to say something, but you're like, I don't want to be that weird person or have this awkward interaction, but you should do it anyway, because that will totally make their day. And even if it is a little awkward, they are probably going to remember that. That's going to stay with them the rest of the day. They're going to be like, I'm amazing. So here's some versions of how the song started before it was the final version it is today. Compliment a stranger today. So weird. I literally looked at a stranger and wanted to compliment him. I walked into a coffee shop and I saw a woman with a cool shirt. It's like the Walmart version. I was gonna tell her that I liked her shirt, but then a voice in my head said, no, you don't need to be weird like that. I don't know what my intention was for how this was gonna flow, but clearly I was just kind of compiling the story of the song. She's gonna think you're trying to distract her so you can steal something from her. And then literally talking to myself, that's a dumb thought, highly unlikely. So eventually I finished it, decided to record it and produce it. The snaps and the claps you hear in it are literally me snapping and clapping into the microphone. And then I made a simple beat and I was like, okay, I need to find someone to play the cool pants girl. And now seems like the perfect time to bring out our super surprise special guest. Okay, here we are with Whitney, the cool pants girl, at 1819, where we first filmed the coffee shop original video.
It's true.
And it's freezing out, but we were like, we want to film at the place we first did the video, but of course there are people inside and we didn't want to make another scene like we did last time.
Not again.
Yeah. So
we were recognized when we came here.
Oh yeah. I asked the girl who was at the cashier if she had heard that song or seen that video, and she was like, oh yeah. And she was like, I thought you looked familiar to her, and she's like, I didn't want to make it weird. So
I guess I'll rewind a little bit to the way Sarah and I met is we both were on the greeting team at our church. And we were welcoming people because we were both welcoming people. So I met Sarah right before she got married, and then we realized we had a ton of fun together and just bring out the goofy side of each other. And also we've had some incredible stories with just the Lord showing up in wild ways, and we've gone on some insane adventures together. Truly, some of my wildest stories have been places God led me with Sarah, and we've got some pretty fun things the Lord's let us do together.
Do you want to tell them what you do? Okay, well, first of all, she lives in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm a terrible interviewer right now. I'm sorry, I'm just so cold.
I do, you're right. I do live in Nashville, Tennessee. Been here 4 years.
What do you do?
Background in counseling, mental health counseling. I have a small art business.
It's really good.
I paint commissions and also paint scripture. And I currently am helping build a young adults ministry at my church.
I'm going to ask Whitney some questions about her experience being in this video. Let's get to it. Whitney, what was your experience being in this video? Let me ask a more specific question. My lips can't even move because I'm so cold.
I feel like my whole body's shaking.
Why am
I can't feel my hands.
So, tell us how we acquired the cool pants.
So we met at Plato's Closet on our way here to find some cool pants. When we tried this pair on, we both said, this is the one.
Yeah. So what was the experience like actually filming the video?
Honestly, I really had to get out of my comfort zone and was just thinking, I'm going to support my friend. And I was like, all right, I'm just going for it. I had to walk in some courage because I don't like getting a lot of attention. And
I'm proud of you.
It made me nervous because I didn't want to disrupt anybody. And I want people to be able to focus.
Did we just really disrupt anybody?
Well, if you watch the video, it definitely doesn't look like it. People did not bat an eye. And we saw our friend like out of nowhere who we didn't expect to be here, Molly.
If you watch the video, each scene is just individually she and I, because we're switching off. Like, okay, you sit there, I'm gonna film you at this angle. No, you stand up, now film me making some expression, you know. But we need someone to help us film the last scene, and then Molly walked in at the perfect time.
It's true.
And I wanted to say, with disrupting people, like, we didn't make any noise. You know, we're like being quiet. Like the song wasn't really playing in the background.
The loudest thing was definitely Sarah hopping.
Yeah. Boo! Boo! And honestly, like, even if people noticed, I love like breaking up the normalcy of someone's day where they can just go home and tell their spouse, like, oh, I just saw these girls making a weird little video today and I thought it was pretty weird, but whatever. You know, it just makes their day more interesting. And then it started blowing up. How did you feel about that?
I didn't think about people seeing it afterward. I'm not an influencer. I have not made a ton of content. And so I just didn't really think about it. And I think like a day or two after you posted it, you messaged me and said it had 20,000 views. And I like kind of had a panic attack a little bit. I was like, that's how many people's eyes have been on me and seen me dancing.
Have you ever been recognized?
Yes. The assistant at my dermatologist, my sister's babysitter. A lot of people's kids have seen the video and then they'll see it and they may sort of know me and they'll reach out and be like, is this you?
I'm really proud of you. You've handled it really well. And now she's willing to be on camera again.
Here I am.
How amazing and brave is she? I'm so grateful for her as a friend. And I'm so grateful she was in this little video with me. Both the original skit thing and this one. Okay, back to the rest of the video. Thank you, Whitney.
You're welcome. Back to you.
Yay! I hope you enjoyed seeing Whitney, the cool pants girl. So it's written, it's filmed, then I post it. I'll never forget how quickly it got to 1 million views. All of a sudden, all these people were copying our skit and making their own versions. And it made my heart so happy because I was like, oh wow, like I had the intention of making this song just a cute little uplifting, wholesome song. And to see so many people of different ages using it as play, like a type of childlike play, honestly. Moms being in it with their kids, teens filming it at school, like during lunch, literal coffee shop owners. And then I saw all these bigger creators using it. Like people were sending me videos constantly. Like, did you see this person used your song? And some of them were influencers I'd followed forever or big companies, like one of Duolingo's accounts, one of the Olympics accounts, Kim Kardashian's daughter, North. But I was most hype when I saw that Costin Mayer made a dance to it because I'd followed them for years. And you know those influencers where you follow them and you feel like if we knew each other in real life, we'd be friends? Totally how I feel about them. They're just the coolest. And I saw Happy Kelly, who I also feel that way about, dance with them. And it was just so sweet. You just can't describe the high of something you made in your brain being used by other people in their own unique way
to bring joy to the world.
And then labels started reaching out, which I know you're probably like, for this song, like this schoolyard chant of a song, because it really do be like a schoolyard chant. Do people use the term schoolyard chant? It sounds like a song that elementary schoolers would make this little like handshake to and just chant to themselves, which they do. So yeah, labels started reaching out and it's just crazy. Even though it's a weird song to think about for that. The music industry is just such a vast, vast land. And if something has attention, it is monetizable. So I didn't have like a dozen reach out, but I had a handful. And that was much different than it's ever been for me. And I only seriously considered 2. One I almost signed with because they were awesome. I talked to other artist friends about the deal they were proposing, and they said it sounded great, like a very generous royalty split. And just the idea of having someone to help me with all the things about artistry that are not writing the song itself just seemed really enticing because I wear a ton of hats and I do almost everything myself. Thankfully, I recently hired an editor. It just sounded really nice to have some help. And most of my friends were saying I should take it. I had 2 people give me feedback, just feedback on why it might not be a good idea to sign with a label and why it might be smarter to stay independent. And I really respect their opinion because of the success they've had. Yeah, I ended up staying independent, and I'm so grateful because here's what's crazy. At the time, the song had just kind of come out, and I didn't think that I was going to get many royalties from it, but I was just new to music land, and royalties take a few months to even show up in your distributor account. And the lawyer I was working with was telling me, hey, you've probably like gotten most of your royalties by now for this song. So if you sign with this label, moving forward, most of the royalties will be ones that maybe they generated with their help for you. I thought, okay, well, that makes sense. But he was wrong because I didn't sign with them, and a huge majority of the royalties monthly came in after that point. So I would have been signing away a ton of the royalties to this label who didn't do any work at that point to get those royalties. So that was crazy to be paying this really good lawyer and he'd be wrong. So I would have missed out on a lot of the royalties that came from this song. So this leads into the crazy story of how this song is the only reason we have a house. Like it's God. I believe in God. I believe this house is a gift from him, and he used the song to give us this house, of course. It's just crazy. We really, really wanted a house at that time, or wanted to start looking soon, but we were nowhere near affording one. And one of the reasons we wanted a house is because we wanted to start trying to have kids soon. And we currently lived at that point in a little 1-bedroom apartment, not totally in a safe area, and a house was going to be a huge blessing to us. It's just crazy because 6 months before we would have wanted to start looking for a house, that is when all these royalties came in that were going to help us afford a house. And what's also crazy about the house thing is the house I'm currently filming this video in right now came on the market the day we got pre-approved, and we had been waiting and waiting and waiting to start looking for a house. We needed to have my taxes done and blah, 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 blah. You probably don't care about this. And we had a tight timeline because our lease was up April 11th. Long story short, within 24 hours, we come look at this house. We love it. We put in an offer I think 24 hours later. We were just so certain it was this house. Our offer got accepted, and they asked if we could do a move-in date of April 11th. So it was just, the timing was crazy. But it gets even crazier. When we put in an offer on the house, I was pregnant and didn't know it yet. And now we have a nursery for a baby. We have space for her. We live in a safe place. We have a backyard that she can run around in when she learns to run or walk. And I just want to say, that's a huge, huge blessing. And God is amazing. Even if this didn't happen, even if we were raising her in our apartment, yes, we'd be fine. And I just feel like this is a huge, huge gift to us that God used this song to bring us. And I'm so grateful. So I wanted to share the story. It's just like him answering our prayer in a really fun, wacky way. You're going to make this song about hopping into a coffee shop and then almost sign the royalties away, but then you're not going to. And then you're going to be able to get a house that your baby's going to grow up in. Just awesome. And I know it was trending 2 years ago, but I never really milked it. That's what people tell me. They're like, you posted one video and it blew up, and it probably could have been a lot bigger, or I could have made merch and all this stuff. And whatever, it's fine. I just thought since November is the 3-year anniversary of me posting it, I'm like, I'm going to have a month where I'm just going to milk it. And I'm going to post several more videos about the song because it's still a great song. I still get DMs and comments from people all the time about, oh, my daughter loves this song. I heard your song today. A lot of kids like it, which I love because I love kids. You can stream Coffee Shop Bop by Sarah Maddack on Spotify and just put a little wholesome weirdness in your day. You can listen to my other songs on Spotify too. I make silly little raps, kind of like pop music, but it's about ducks and worms and bugs and coffee shops. But yeah, it's like VeggieTales, Dr. Seuss, and Will Smith's rapping career. You can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, obviously. Subscribe. That's all. Go compliment a stranger today. Bye.
I hopped into a coffee shop, and then my jaw dropped in shock when I saw a girl who had cool pants. They made me want to dance. I started to advance to tell her until I heard a little voice say, "Stop."